Odysseus and the Bag of Winds. Sometimes, the greatest tragedies are not caused by monsters, they are caused by doubt. After escaping the island of the Lotus-Eaters and surviving the terrible Cyclops Polyphemus, Odysseus and his remaining companions once again set sail in search of home. They had faced storms, hunger, and death. Yet, through every trial, one thought kept them forward: Ithaca. Each sunrise brought new hope that the familiar shores of their homeland would finally appear upon the horizon. Instead, the winds carried them somewhere altogether unexpected. Ahead rose a floating island surrounded by steep bronze cliffs. Suspended above the sea, it seemed almost untouched by the world below. This was the island of Aeolia. It was ruled by Aeolus, the keeper of the winds. Unlike the dangers Odysseus had encountered before, Aeolus welcomed the weary travelers with open arms. For an entire month, Odysseus remained his honored guest. The king listened with fascination as Odysseus recounted the long war at Troy, the fall of the mighty city, the storm that had driven them from their course, the strange Lotus-Eaters, and the horrifying escape from the Cyclops. When, at last, it was time for Odysseus to continue his journey, Aeolus decided to help him. Calling upon his divine authority over the winds, he summoned every storm, every violent gust, every wandering breeze that might drive ships astray. One by one, he trapped them inside a great leather bag: north wind, south wind, east wind, west wind. Each was sealed securely within the skin of an ox. Only a single gentle west wind was left free. This wind alone, Aeolus said, will carry you safely home. He handed the heavy bag to Odysseus. Guard it carefully. Odysseus thanked the king with deep gratitude. For the first time since leaving Troy, the journey home seemed certain. The ships left Aeolia with calm seas and favorable winds. Day after day, the gentle breeze pushed them steadily onward. Odysseus trusted no one with a precious gift. He tied the bag tightly and kept it always beside him. He never allowed it out of his sight. His companions watched him with growing curiosity. What could be inside? No one knew. Odysseus refused to explain. At first, they thought little of it. But as the days passed, whispers spread across the ships. Perhaps Aeolus rewarded him with gold, or silver, maybe jewels taken from the treasures of kings. The rumors grew with every mile they sailed. Some wondered why Odysseus would keep such riches for himself after everything they had endured together. Others convinced themselves that their captain intended to claim the reward alone once they reached Ithaca. Odysseus heard none of it. For 9 days and 9 nights, he remained awake, guiding the ships across the sea and watching over Aeolus's mysterious gift. At last, the impossible happened. Far ahead, faint against the morning light, appeared the rocky shores of Ithaca. Home. The sailors could already see smoke rising from distant villages. Some even claimed they could make out the coastline itself. After years of wandering, the journey was finally over. Exhausted beyond measure, Odysseus allowed himself something he had denied for days. He closed his eyes and fell asleep. His companions gathered quietly around the leather bag. This must be treasure. Why else would he guard it so closely? Has he planned to keep it for himself? The whispers became certainty. Surely no captain would hide mere wind from his own crew. One sailor reached for the knot. Another hesitated. What if he discovers us? He's asleep. We have earned our share. Slowly, carefully, they loosened the cord. The instant the bag opened, every imprisoned wind burst free. The sea exploded into chaos, a deafening roar filled the sky. The gentle breeze vanished beneath a storm of unimaginable fury. The ship spun helplessly across towering waves. Sails tore, oars snapped. The fleet was hurled backwards across the sea as though the last 9 days had never happened. When Odysseus awoke, Ithaca had disappeared. The island he had almost reached was gone. Ahead lay only the familiar cliffs of Aeolia. The journey home had been undone by a single moment of mistrust. Heartbroken, Odysseus returned to the palace of Aeolus and begged him for help once more. Surely the king would understand what had happened. Surely he would seal the winds again. But when Aeolus saw the battered ship returning, his expression changed. No, he shook his head. If the gods have driven you away so completely, then they must have their reasons. He believed Odysseus had been cursed by the gods. To interfere again would be to oppose their will. Without another word, Aeolus ordered the sailors to leave his island. This time, they departed with no gift, no favorable wind, no promise of safe passage, only despair. As the ships drifted once more into the open sea, the silence among the crew was heavier than any storm. No one blamed Aeolus, no one blamed the wind. Deep in their hearts, they knew the truth. They had been closer to home than at any other time in their journey, not defeated by monsters, not by angry gods, not by impossible odds, but by suspicion, by greed, and by the inability to trust the man who had led them through every danger they had survived. The road to Ithaca stretched before them once again, longer than ever. And from that day forward, every sailor aboard those ships understood a painful lesson. Sometimes, the greatest obstacle standing between us and our destination is ourselves.